Welcome to 304 Customs Garage. In this episode, I'm going to be covering the fuel system setup for my V8 S10 swap. If you watch any of my previous videos, you'll see that I finally got the motor and transmission in this truck, and I also tackled the power steering setup in one of the last videos. I have the parts behind me laid out on the table. I will be using a mechanical fuel pump that's on the small black Chevy, and we're also going to be using the stock fuel tank. This is a street truck instead of a fuel cell. However, we're going to be removing the fuel pump that's in the tank now and making a pickup so we can pump it to our mechanical fuel pump that's on the side of the motor. So, without waiting any longer, let's go ahead and get started so we can get one step closer to pumping stuff like this through those fuel lines. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into these parts. First, I want to thank everyone for continuing to watch these videos. I appreciate all the support, and if you have any questions, like the videos, please like, subscribe to the channel. I thank you all. I apologize. I have been away for a little bit. I've been on vacation, had a lot of things going on with work, family. I've been a really busy person here lately, but had some time to sneak off up to the garage this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get another thing on this to-do list checked off. So, to start with our fuel tank setup, running a mechanical fuel pump with a stock tank, we're going to have to get rid of that in-tank fuel pump, and we're going to be using an in-tank fuel hose, 3/8 inside the diameter. It's 12 inches long. This is submersible, so it shouldn't break apart and rot. Get little pieces of stuff inside the tank to get clogged up later. I hope. It's supposed to not, so. Then what's the part number? That's what we're going to be replacing the stock in-tank fuel pump with, is the pickup hose. And in the later part of the video, we'll show you how we're going to rig this up to make it work. So my plan is to run this to the pump hanger, up through the stock hard line, and then we're going to go to a fitting like this. There's the part number and description right there if anyone's curious. This is what we're going to connect the hard line with to the AN hose. Now this is a unique fitting. I didn't know this existed until recently, and well, I guess when I bought these parts a few months ago. But this allows you to connect hard line to AN hose by putting this over the little flared part on the hard line that comes up out of the fuel tank. As you see, there's a little O-ring on the end of that as well. And then you just screw this on. Make sure you get on here and don't cross thread it. Tighten it up after you get that on there. Your hose will go in here. AN connection goes here. Pretty simple, right? So that takes us to that. Then we will be running this 90-degree elbow. This is 8 AN line, by the way, if anyone has questions. Might be a little overkill for what I'm doing, but I guess I'd rather have the fuel there than not have it. And this 90-degree fitting will go here, and then it's going to come down off the tank. And it should clear the outside of the tank, because I mocked it up earlier, just holding it up against there, and it looks like it should come off the side of the tank. So this should allow us to run AN hose after that to our next fitting, which is just a straight AN fitting. And then somewhere along there, we're going to be mounting it with these nice cushion hose clamps. They're rubber insulated and stainless steel, so hopefully they don't rust. And then we're going to be running that to this 8 AN fuel filter. And then after that, another straight fitting. More stainless hose. And this one piece that I did forget after I pulled all this stuff out to show you all this tonight is I need to get another fitting like this to connect it to my mechanical fuel pump, which we'll go over here and take a look at here in a second. And that should give you everything that I need to make this stock fuel tank pump fuel from the mechanical fuel pump. And then from there, I'm just going to run an AN line up to the carburetor, which we'll do in another video later. cover that topic. So let's go over here and take a look at my little contraption I rigged up for the mechanical fuel pump against the frame. Okay, so here's my mechanical fuel pump with AN lines, a brass fitting, and more AN lines, another fuel filter. This is a Holley 110, I think 110 gallon per hour, I believe it was. But it's a Summit branded pump. This part number here by my finger behind this fuel filter is a Holley part number. If you Google that number, it shows up as Holley. Not sure what the difference is. It'll work fine for what I need. There's an ARP fuel pump push rod inside there as well. But the part of this I wanted to show you was how tight this is here next to the frame. Originally I had bought this piece here, and my plan was just to run this 3/8 fitting into this fuel pump and connect an AN line with an elbow or something of that sorts to this. However, this piece in general is too long from here to the frame here, and it would not allow it to happen. I even tried to wiggle the motor around, wasn't happening. So I got a little creative, went to my local Lowe's actually, and picked up this brass piece, which is 3/8 male, 3/8 female, 90-degree elbow. And it is short enough, as you can see, there is a little gap here that it does not hit the frame now. Hopefully it won't be a problem. I don't know if the motor will shift that much really to where it'll come down and hit that, but there is a little wiggle room here. You can move it a little bit if you push hard enough. I hope that won't be an issue. We'll see. I said, I guess if I have an issue with it, you'll know not to use something like that. But this is how I rigged it up on this side of it so far. And you see I dinged my paint a little bit, but who cares? You won't see that. But this is a 8 AN to 3/8. This is a swivel adapter, so I can clock this any way I need to whenever I get this fuel line ran. I'm not sure which route I'm going to take yet. I'm going to try to keep it inside the frame as long as possible to keep it away from any heat or anything to get tangled on. So hopefully that won't be an issue either. We'll go ahead and cover that later in the video, which way we decide to route it. But other than that, you see I just have 3/8 90-degree elbow to an 8 AN fitting, up to another fuel filter, and then just a line up to a fuel pressure gauge and an adapter for the Holley double pumper carburetor that I'm planning to use. So let's go ahead and start rigging up the fuel pump hanger with our new pickup hose. Okay, here's my finished Ingenuity pickup tube for this mechanical fuel pump on the small block Chevy. Did you see? I have the Daco submersible fuel hose. That's my pickup. I put this on a straight edge also, and these are very close together. It's minimal, like 1/8 of an inch difference. I don't plan to run the truck completely empty, so we should be okay and shouldn't have any problems getting the fuel out. And then have our little fitting up here. That was the, I guess it was like an EFI fitting, I think that's what they call them, where you put the piece on and then you screw this AN and fitting onto it. Perfect. My plan from there is to run it from there to here, and this 90-degree elbow I've already put on here. I need to tighten this up some more before I actually do it. I'm going to have to cut this video a little bit shorter than I hoped. I don't have all the fittings that I needed. I still need a couple more, and my routing plan slightly changed a little bit. So I'll be doing that in the next couple days off camera. So after that, we're going to run that to a straight fitting to another 8-inch fuel filter. This will be the first fuel filter from the tank. And I'm probably going to change this after 100, 200 miles or so, just to make sure, cheap insurance. I don't know what's in the tank. It looked fairly clean when I shine the light in there, but you can't see under the little plastic piece, so just in case. Then after that, another straight fitting, more hose. Probably use those somewhere along the line. And then I actually need to get another one of these and probably another one of these to make this work. So we'll go over here and I'll take a look at my plan for routing this fuel line. Alright, so my plan was to run it all the way up this frame rail maybe, and then over by the radiator core support when I put that back in here, and then over to that. Or I might run it through the driver's side frame rail up to about the transmission and then cross over under the cab and then bring it up through here. However, those fender well headers that I'm planning to use, I think those might be kind of close and a little uncomfortable about putting it so close to that. And plus I'm going to run the trans cooler lines through here, so that'll be taking up space as well. Or another idea that I had was to run it across, then through here, and then there's this area through here. If I can get it over next to the frame, maybe I can snake it through here and then pop it up around here somewhere and connect it. Hopefully. We'll see. I'll have to do some test fitment here before I start cutting up that AN hose. That stuff's not cheap. So more to come on that. Next time we'll hopefully have all this buttoned up, and hopefully it won't be as long before I get another video out. I've still been a pretty busy person. If you've been watching the videos, I thank you. If you like any of the videos I'm making, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned with us so we can get this thing on the road, hopefully. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. As always, check out one of these other videos. I'll put some up here at the end. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.